Hello and welcome back, guys. You are gaming with me, Brothgar, and today I've got some more Planet Coaster for you. Now, I have been hard at work here. You saw me build this roller coaster on this floating island last time here, and I've gone ahead and kind of added some more stuff to my park. So let me go ahead and show you around what I've been doing here since I've been hard at work since we've been gone. So I've added another little rock down here, and the idea is that, well, let me show you where the inspiration came from. All right, if I fly on over here, you'll see some other stuff, but we'll get to that. This is one of those little blobs I put up in the sky. That was when I first found out that you can actually make stuff floating in the sky. And then I used some other rocks down here, and I was also playing with some of the scenery, like the smoke effects, just to see, like, all right, what happens if we throw something like this together, just, I don't know, to make some sort of crazy little floating monument thing. And that looked kind of cool with the sun and stuff. Wow, that's... ooh, fancy. Anyhow, that's what I was trying right there. Now, I don't think necessarily I can do that with my island up here because that would just be so much smoke, it'd kill my graphics card. But you can see here that I've added another chunk to this just to kind of make it connect it to the ground. Because one of the comments we'll read here in a little bit here says, you should either make it look like it came from space or you should make it look like it came from the Earth. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it look like it comes from the Earth. So I also did some terrain modifications down here. Pretty much this was all level up in here, and I dug it out and made it kind of rough right there, and also using the painting tools. And I think the painting tools really sells the idea that this is a rock ripped from the ground and stuff like that. Kind of helps connect the theme together here. So you can see that this has very little green to it, a bit of sand. And how you do that is when you get into your terrain tools here, what you can do is you can change your intensity, and by changing your intensity, it's how much you actually put on there. So you can make it kind of make it a slow thing as you're painting into there. And the other thing is by hitting the more tool here, you can turn your surface lock off. So this one here stays right to whatever angle you're starting off with. This other one actually allows it to adjust to whatever contour you're on. So for roughing up a surface like that, it's kind of like what I was doing where I just put it on a small size and I was pushing in the surface. This goes much, much faster than the other one. Now, I'm not sure what the scenery lock is. I'm thinking it's everything else that comes into play with it. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Maybe it doesn't let you do stuff in the background. I haven't figured that one out just yet, but that's a big tip right there, especially when it comes to modifying your terrain and trying to rough things up and make it look like, you know, cliffs and whatnot. So if you do this number right here, make it kind of small, it will adjust to whatever you got going on here, so you can just move it like this real quickly and do what you need to do. I don't really want green and stuff on the wall there, so there you go. Anyhow, some of the other things I was doing right here is I added some more more rides to my park. I added this sort of crazy swing right here, and this thing is just absolutely nuts. And also added some little rocks and trees next to it just to kind of try to tie everything in. I'm really not too good at decorating just yet, so I'll probably not make a whole episode on just decorating, but I will probably make some more roller coasters here because that's pretty cool. Anyhow, we can ride this thing, and it is absolutely nuts. Whoa! People aren't on it at the moment for some reason. Nobody's down here on the end of the park except for a few suckers. But look at that ride. Absolutely nuts. Cool thing. And I should probably get rid of this smoke effect right here. Alright, there we go. Now, I also continued the park right down into this area. I'm somewhat okay with this. I like this ride because it's kind of tucked into the terrain a little bit. But this rest of the stuff, I think I could do something a little bit better over here. I can make something look a little bit more natural than this right here. I mean, that, to me, that just... Who would really make stairs like that? If I'm gonna invest time into this park and try to make it look pretty good, I think I should actually make stairways that go up and down on hills and actually carve them into the hills. I think that'd look a little bit better. So I'm gonna redo this stuff right here. And as you can see, as I was carving out the terrain tool, this is kind of an interesting thing. If you carve underneath stuff, I left this just to show you, but if you carve underneath stuff, it'll actually leave it right there. So if you have something in the sky, and this will be pretty interesting, if you have something there, you can leave the terrain attached to it if you've already painted it onto the terrain. So that's going to be an interesting thing at some point, because what you can do, or at least what I suspect you could do, if you're going to do a bridge from here to there, you could make a bunch of earth first, then put down your little walkway on top of it, and then use the carving tool to carve that out underneath it, and then expand it back out to make it look a little bit more natural. to get kind of a cool arc. We'll use that technique eventually at some point here, maybe when it goes to connecting certain things, but you know, something like this I suspect you would be able to make, but actually make revolving around the stuff you have right there. I don't know, some interesting ideas. I also tried to make a square shape, which I wasn't able to do, but it'd be cool if they add sort of those nominal shapes right there, like squares and whatnot, so you can get a futuristic looking park instead of try to make ones that look a little bit more rustic. I don't know. Different ideas. Anyhow, though, you can see the staircase here is one of the last things I've added, not to mention trying to make a rocket, which is just weird. It's got a hamburger bun on top. I don't know. I was having fun, just randomly doing stuff. Yeah, being able to do a spiral staircase, this thing is nuts. Would you walk on this? I don't know. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and walk with this person as they're actually climbing up it in first-person view. As we're going up this, yeah, that looks pretty interesting. Where do I go? I don't know where to go. This is so cool. What is she thinking? What are you thinking, girl? I don't know. I can't get her thoughts while I'm in first person, and she's gone. Nope, there she is. Danielle Jones, what are your thoughts? I want to go on roller coaster 31. I don't know how I got that name. Anyhow, yeah, I put this path up here. It kind of goes up into the main lobby here, and I've connected it. It took a little while to get people to actually come up into this area for whatever reason. They were just ignoring this. Like, just over here, they're also ignoring this. So, as far as the people pathways, what I had to do to actually attract people to go onto this roller coaster is I had to put some sales shops down here just to get people to come down here and buy some stuff. For some odd reason, that attracted them, and then they started going up here and finding the roller coaster. Now, suddenly, everybody's up there. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see how the population is all working out. I'm sure at some point they'll give you heat maps and all those different strategies that you can use. But as you can see here, putting this one on the outlier of the park, this thing's not getting a lot of love. Although before I added all the stuff down here, it was getting tons of love, so we got to figure out different ways to path people around to make the best use of your park. Anyhow, that's a bit of an overview of what I've been up to right there. Let's go ahead and take a time lapse of me doing it right here to some sweet music. Alrighty, let's get back into it. Today, I'm going to be trying to make another roller coaster. I think last time I said I was going to try to make some sort of building over this roller coaster right here. And you know what? I think I will. But I'm not going to try to make a video out of it just because I'm not good at that just yet. So I'll probably do that offline and give you a time lapse of it. But let's finish with a roller coaster. So let's start it up with and make one that's going to be pretty cool. What I want to do is I want to make a roller coaster that's going to go up here today. And I think it's going to go on top of this ridge right here. I'm going to be calling it like a ridge rider, some sort of cave barrels sort of thing. It's not going to be the biggest roller coaster I'll probably ever make, but it will be pretty cool. It's definitely going to be the biggest one we've made just yet. So I'll chain ride it up here, and then I think it'll curve upside down into this gap and go through that hole, as you guys were kind of recommending last time, and then come over here and go into a big drop. And we'll probably go through this tunnel right here. I didn't even plan it, but this tunnel right here, if you were to carve that last chunk of bit out, it kind of does match up with this tunnel right here, you know? I don't know, it's pretty fancy. Anyhow, though, we'll go into here. We'll come on out the other side, and then go barreling through the canyon. So it'll be a canyon thunder or something like that, and then come flying out here, and you'll have to figure out where to go. And we'll actually make our way back up towards the station, doing flips and turns as need be. Maybe even doing a loop over this train right here. And then ending somewhere back over here. So it's going to be definitely a big roller coaster, and I do like the idea of making roller coasters that are terrain bound, just because I think it's a little bit more natural. And since I have a park that's all revolving around terrain, I think that's going to be a good idea. You know what? Let's do something completely different. Let's try this. We're actually going to start the roller coaster off here without very much lift at all. The lift will be at the end of the roller coaster. Yeah, that'll be weird. Oh, a flying stingray roller coaster? Please, Brothgar, build me is what it is screaming. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and build a different roller coaster. I want one that actually has a linear motor to it. That way I can accelerate it up the hill at the end. And the flying stingray, unfortunately, does not have that. Alright guys, well I have settled on the Giga Coaster here instead of the flying one, just because the supports are going to be much more vertical instead of like a triangle like that. Flying coaster is cool, it was a fun idea, but trying to make it fit on ridges and really high, you know, this is going to be an incredibly high roller coaster at some point. And those supports are just going to really extend out there really far and make the park look a little bit too ugly. So, we'll do a compromise here, but it'll still be good. Let's hop into it. And also, since it is I have to do a chain lift, I really can't do any with the linear motors, except for the flying coaster that I already have. And I already have one of those, so I don't want to make another one. So I'm just going to give it some more height here before we go and drop down through there. Basically, more speed that we can then use to get back up to here without having to rely too much on a chain lift. That's your answer to everything. More speed! Don't you want me to make roller coasters for you? You might just die. I can't guarantee. Alrighty, so let's read through your comments of the last video here. Nicolas Cage loves the song. Absolutely, it's great stuff right there. You can see the link to it. That's all down there in the bottom. I find that on NCS Music right there, they do a lot of non-copyright stuff if you guys are creators. Check them out, absolutely. L1 DeWitt says, finally, I found someone who builds very good in Planet Coaster. Wow, that's pretty high praise. Thank you. It's hard to find really good builders that upload frequently. Of course, there's Savant, Sir Ghost, and all these other guys, but they don't upload that frequently. Don't get me wrong, those people right there, the people that you're talking about, I've seen them, and they do really, really good work, but they are also putting in tons of hours in order to make it. As far as my take on this series and this game, I do want to kind of find that happy medium between like high quality and not crap quality. So pretty much like average or maybe a little bit above average is what I'm aiming for right there, but still trying to keep it frequently enough to be actually watch the stuff develop. So there's going to be rough edges, especially with the roller coaster you're seeing right here, that are just going to have to be ironed out sometime in the future. Luckily, time lapses help me cover that content much faster, huh? Eli Stone, bruh, I love that island you got right there. If I could high five you, I would. Everybody seems to like it. Pretty cool stuff. And yep, X Mining Craft says, your idea for a flying park is absolutely great. Awesome. Yeah, I'm loving it. What's going to be really fun is when we get multiple islands and we start working between them, you know, with land bridges and stuff like that. It'll be really cool. Like some sort of roller coaster that just is the island hopper. Fun idea. Lucia says, nice island. You kept it to a really nice size. Maybe try to put some roller coaster going through some of the holes in the side of the mountain. Boom! Just what I did right there, or am doing. Remember that you need to add an entrance and exit plus a queue. Looking forward to where you are going to put them in the next episode. All right, oops, didn't do that. Anyhow, so thanks for reading my comment. No problem at all. Hey man, nice vid. Thanks, man. Make more please, no problem. Michiko and Ertl, thank you for commenting. Blue Wizard is like, song sounds like lots of lots of lots of Gatorade, lots of Gatorade. I don't even know what they're saying though. And this is what I was talking about here, the Hobbit 95. That's what I was referring to at the beginning of the video. The island looks amazing. You're going to want to make it look if it's either coming from the ground or some sort of hole. I'm not sure if you've already thought of that. But anyhow, that's essentially your comment right there is what I was going for. Stormfighter wants me to play Loadout. Posting it on all my videos, man. Due diligence. Thanks for continuing to comment, brah. Just found your channel and it helped me with Adventure Capitalist. Oh, no problem. Cooper. Hello, Lisa. What's up, bro? And I already responded to Real Llama. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this roller coaster because I think it's just about done. Alrighty, well there we have it. Made the roller coaster. Let's go ahead and give it a ride right now. This is going to be interesting. This seems like a really fast roller coaster. We don't have stats necessarily to see how fast you're going, but I think it'll be pretty cool. Let's see here. What's a cool camera seat? Let's just ride right in the seat, huh? Move ourselves over to the second seat here so we're more in the middle. This is interesting. Man, we're way up here. Woo! Woo! Holy cow, this is a fast roller coaster. Hello! Not a lot of flips and turns to this, but here we go. This is a kind of an interesting spot. Way up here. Make a big turn. Take a look at that satellite dish I kind of modeled there for a moment. A little bit of a twist on down, and right back up into a crazy inverted turn. And right back down into another canyon. This is such a fast roller coaster. Holy cow. But then we run out of steam right here. Now this is where I felt like I don't like having to do this. Ooh, but just enough to catch it and keep moving on. So there you have it. That was interesting. That was interesting more than anything else. Am I 100% satisfied with it? No. Let's go ahead and pick it apart here as it is. One, there's this chain lift at the end and a chain lift at the beginning, and I think I could do some stuff to make that a little bit better in some other ways so that, you know, look at this. You don't have to have this giant trolley all the way to get back up here. You don't want your entire ride to be just going up a chain lift. So anyhow, though, the things I do like about it, I love this part right here. This falling right down here and then going through this canyon, this cave or whatever it is absolutely awesome. With this drop down here, this whole part right here is the best part of this roller coaster. A lot of big sweeping turns, which is kind of interesting to kind of model. And that roller coaster didn't have a lot of options for pre-built, any sort of inverts or stuff like that, and I also couldn't make it flip back over on itself. So I was a little bit limited, but ultimately it is one incredibly fast roller coaster. Now this part, this was pretty cool, but I'm not sure it made as much sense as it did when I was actually modeling it. I like it, but it is a little bit, I don't know. This part's cool. This part here seems to stand out kind of like a sore thumb. Now, I think more realistically, it's a sore thumb in my mind just because of all the supports that it's making right here. And it just seems, in some ways, a bit unnecessary. So, I don't know. I'll probably modify this roller coaster a bit. We're going to say this is sort of the beta 1 of the Canyon Runner. But I like that. That's cool. Hopefully, though, as the alpha continues here, this roller coaster doesn't seem like it's reached its full potential yet. It looks like they still have a lot of stuff to do it. So maybe I'll just leave this here just to see what happens as the game progresses, to see what happens to these supports. If they get knocked down or refined, because I think they definitely will. Because that's just a little crazy right there. Anyhow, though, this gets right back into another canyon. That's cool. I love bombing through these things and then coming out right over here. So, I don't know. Pretty cool. Maybe not quite as cool as I thought it was. I don't think it came out as good as this roller coaster right here. But then again, I modeled this land around the idea of I was going to build a roller coaster just like that. This is probably still my best roller coaster that I've made thus far. But you know what? For a first attempt at a giant coaster, this is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, there's some stuff we got to do for some supports. But I'm going to leave it as it is right now just to see what the game does as it develops. You know, for now. Anyhow, though, thanks for watching, guys. If you have some ideas for me, go ahead and leave them down there in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can get to them in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. If I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much. Peace. Brothgar out. Okay, here we go. Come on! Yeah! Woo! I totally got him! Come on, baby, go, 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 go. Do it! Do it! Do it! Oh, yeah! Get some of that! Get some of that! Mmm! That was building a roller coaster on a floating island right there. Pretty cool idea. Fun stuff. I enjoyed it. 1 million! There we go. Now we're talking. That's the sound of money if I ever heard it. Woo! It's kind of got a weird ring to it. I'm liking it so far. Bye-bye!